Timeline is going to be the subject of some intense interrogation. What are we expecting from this a little bit later?
Well, you said it. This is going to be the first of 3 very long days for the CEO of Equifax. He has 4 different panels that he'll be in front of in the next 3 days, starting this morning. What we've seen from his testimony thus far is he is going to try to lay out a chronology of who knew what when. And one of the biggest revelations that we've learned thus far is that the company admitted that there were mistakes that happened. There should have been, there were vulnerabilities that were found in March. There were staff at the company that were directed to fix those vulnerabilities. It didn't happen, and that is why so much data was stolen. So he's going to face some really tough questions from Republicans and Democrats. This is first and foremost a chance to hold him accountable.
Elizabeth, what is the reason that this company and the former CEO is giving as to why they sat on the information for so long before they disclosed it to the general public?
So that is a great question, and it's one that we will probably hear repeated several times in the next few days. They've outlined their protocols and internal procedures for how they first learn about an incident, how that escalates, how they notified, the CEO was notified, then notified the board. But it does raise a question as to whether or not why it did take a month for that information to be public, for regulators to know about it. And so one of the central questions is whether or not there were rules in place that were not followed, or whether or not there should be new rules set in place for when companies are required to report publicly those types of breaches.
Elizabeth.